It's Mandy from Nothing But Third Pumps. Welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited for today's video, I can't even express it. I'm going to be doing my first Halloween tutorial ever. I'm really just dipping my toe into the Halloween water, so bear with me. I'm going to try to include some struggles, some mistakes, some screw-ups in there just so you guys can see what I went through to really get the desired finish on everything. But yeah, I'm super excited for this because I hugely admire people who do special effects makeup. I know nothing about it except that I think it's incredible and it's something that I would love to do because I think the people that do it and do it well are incredibly talented. So this is sort of my first inching peek into something like that. So I just kind of wanted to tape it because I was just going to post it on Instagram, but I said, you know what the hell, I'm sure there's a lot of girls out there that see these beautiful pictures on Instagram and want to do it but are afraid to do it, which was me up until, I don't know, like 5 minutes ago. So I figured we'd walk through it together. So just so you know, I have my foundation on, I have my concealer on, I've set my face with a powder, I've bronzed a little bit, and I went ahead and did my eye makeup look. If you guys like this eye makeup look, I know it's super dramatic. I just sort of wanted to counteract the skull when I went ahead and did it. But anyway, let me know if you want me to tape that, and I can do that for one of my upcoming videos. But yeah, I'm just going to get right into it. It's going to be another voiceover. It's just easier for me, especially with something like this. It's going to take quite a bit of time and quite a bit of effort, and I don't really know what I'm going to get myself into. So yeah, that's what we're going to do here. But before I get going, please do me a huge big favor. Please click on that big red subscribe button. It would mean the world to me. Please like this video, share this video on Facebook. If you could just support me, I would appreciate it so much. And I'm going to have so many more videos to come that are hopefully super exciting to you, just like they're super exciting to me. So I love you guys so much. I appreciate you watching my videos, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.
Okay guys, just jumping right on into it, the first thing we are going to do is take any white eye pencil and just sort of map out the lower portion of your face where the skull is going to be. For this part of the project, I used a NARS larger than life white eye pencil. For future, I would never use this one again. One, it's stupidly expensive to waste on this. Two, it's a twist up, so you can't throw this into a pencil sharpener and get a real nice point to be precise. It's super rounded. So if I had to do it again, I would not use that. Anyway, moving on, we're going to just cover the lower half of our face in white paint as a base. I use the Snazaroo paint from Michael's craft store. I would not recommend anybody go out and buy it. I would go out and buy professional face paint if you want it to look good. But in any event, you can see that this is not super opaque. It comes off really streaky, but I had to work with what I had, and this is what I had. So I went ahead and I just covered the entire bottom half of my face. I did go over my lips. I did let it dry a little bit and do a second coat before I began to move on to the rest of my face. Once I got it as opaque as I possibly could, which trust me, that took me about a half an hour, which was miserable, I went in with the Snazaroo paint in black and the Sigma pencil eyeliner brush to just map out where the nose was. As you can see, I had the same exact problem with the black face paint. It was gray, it was not black, it was not opaque. But like I said, I worked with what I had. But this Sigma eyeliner brush worked wonders to be precise on the nose, so I would recommend using a precise eyeliner brush. It really helped me out in working with the face paint. So once I had that all colored in, I went in just to gently map out the shape of my cheekbone and my jawbone. I did have a picture of a skull sitting next to me that I used as reference, but I sort of just let that go because it's really difficult to sort of feed off of another picture, and I just worked with what I had and tried to follow the natural shape of my face and kind of went from there. And as much as this paint was gray and not as opaque as I wanted it to be, considering it was supposed to be black, I think it worked out in the end because I made some mistakes in drawing the bones. They were just way too far apart, and it was a lot easier to clean up and fix those mistakes over gray paint than it was black, so I guess it worked out in the end. Once I had it mapped out as best I could, I did go in there and just fill everything with the black paint and try to make it as opaque as possible in between the two bones. And when I was done with that, I did take a little bit of that paint and just put it onto my lips. I just thought this sort of helped the dead look And it also was great to help blending when I started doing the teeth. And I did go ahead and blend that out with a clean pencil brush. Now, one of the best things I did was go back in with this matte black eyeliner. It's from NYX. As you can see, my nose is dark. I filled in my entire nose with that. I don't know why I didn't get it on camera. I couldn't find the footage. But anyway, I think it also made a huge difference to go back in and just outline the top of my face. It made everything look a ton cleaner. And once I was done with that, I went back over the edges of the jaw and the cheekbone just to clean that up a little bit. And as you can see, that also started to make a huge difference from where I was. Once I had it cleaned up as much as I thought I could, I went in and I started to work on the teeth. The best way to probably do this is just to follow the map of your natural teeth and where the separation is. Otherwise, way too much thinking. At least in my opinion, it was really easy to just sort of go ahead and map everything out. So I used the same paint that I've been using before from Snazaroo. I used an even smaller eyeliner brush. I think this one is from Real Techniques. It's super, super precise and it was really easy to work with. And what I did, I wasn't too worried about the shape of the teeth at this point. I really just wanted to map out where I was placing them. So I did my top teeth first. And then I went ahead on the bottom and I just mirrored the placement that I did on the top. And when I was done with the end of my lips, I sort of got nervous as to where I wanted to put the teeth. And I found drawing this line from the edge of my lips to my cheekbone really helped me guide me to make sure that the teeth were even on both sides and it made sense with where I was placing them. And it was super easy just to draw a straight line across the line of my newly built lips to make sure that the teeth on the bottom and the top were even. So once the placement was done, I went in there with the same eyeliner pencil and I just started mapping out the shape of the teeth. And I heard somebody say this before, I don't know who it was, but the best tip is to draw your teeth like Hershey Kisses, really lightly, and it just sort of maps out what an actual tooth looks like, and you don't have to worry about being too precise. And I'm sorry guys, you can tell I jumped ahead a lot here. I lost a bunch of the footage, but I basically just did what I was just doing along all the teeth, and I started coloring them in. Once I was done with that, I sort of thought everything looked really messy, so I took the same eyeliner from NYX, except I used the matte white one, and I went along the inner portion of the bones that I drew, and I just sort of mapped everything out with the white. This really helped, in my opinion, to clean everything up and also bring some brightness to my face where there was none, which added a ton more dimension to the skull than there was before. Look, you can really see here where it was black and then gray, and there was a huge gap between the two bones that I didn't want to be there. I just went ahead and I took that matte white liquid liner and went over some of the black to bring the bones closer together, and it made a huge difference. And it was really easy to work with. It's the same eyeliner that I use to do my winged liner. And it's got a brush tip that's really flexible and blendable, and it does exactly what you want. So if I could have, I would have painted the whole bottom of my face with this white eyeliner, but this thing's small, it would have been expensive, so I worked with what I had. So when I was done with that, I started going back into the teeth. On every tooth I went in and I just used a little bit of that same white eyeliner just to really brighten up the teeth and add some extra dimension. This sort of is an unnecessary step. You could have used white eyeliner, you could have used powder, you could have done nothing at all, but I really thought it helped differentiate the teeth from the rest of the bones, which really made the mouth portion of it stand out and just added a ton more dimension. So we're gonna cut this short in a second, but I probably spent a good, 20 minutes cleaning up the teeth, and it made a huge difference. Once I was done with that, I went in with the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette, which is what I used on my eyes with the exception of the glitter. So if you want to see a tutorial on the eye look, let me know, but it is with this palette. I used the matte black color at the end of the palette just to start shading everything in and blending the paint in, because once the paint dried, it was dry. I couldn't do anything with it, but the shadow really helped bring everything together. I will say, because this paint was so dry and cracking, it was extremely difficult to blend, but I did my best. I went in between all the teeth and I just darkened up the separation and blended it out so it didn't look streaky. And as you could see, I did go in and significantly darken the hollows of the cheekbone just to add some extra dimension to the face. I did cut some of the footage out, but I went over my entire nose with the matte black eyeshadow and just set the eyeliner in the face paint that was on my nose to begin with, because you could see some of the oils seeping through and the powder definitely helped. Now, this part is definitely not a necessity, but I went in there with some more of the black eyeshadow and a small detailed brush from Real Techniques, just to help add some extra dimension to the cheekbone and the jawbone. I eyeballed this. I did not follow anybody else's picture. I just sort of added this where I thought it was necessary, and in my opinion, it made a huge difference. Again, it's not extremely blendable, so just be careful when you're adding the powder there. If you use too much of a heavy hand on the paint, you won't be able to blend the powder over, so just be very careful if you're going to go in and do that step. And the rest of this is me really just cleaning everything up. I went back in with a different eyeliner brush and a little bit more of the powder just to clean up the teeth. And last but not least, when everything was dry, I went in with the same Snazaroo white paint and just went over everything that started to look really opaque. And it didn't end up cracking when I was done with this, but I think adding that last layer really helped to clean everything up. So this was the whole tutorial, guys. I really hope that you enjoyed it. My biggest recommendation is buy nice face paint if you're going to do this. But other than that, I think it came out pretty good. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.